Well, hi, this is Peter Combs from Bidamount.com and plcombs Asian Art in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And today is the last day of February. It's the 28th of 2018. And in this video today, we're going to take a look at two sales that are coming up at Sotheby's in March. One of them is the Ming sale, which has around just 14 lots in it, but they're pretty amazing. And a look at the Kangxi sale of the Tang collection, and there are 91 lots in there. And both of them are really interesting sales. All the sales Sotheby's has up right now are interesting. They're all good auctions, and they're going to be fun to watch and sort of a test of the market. And you may remember a couple of months ago, I did a book review of the Tang collection. The owner had contacted me and given me a copy of the book as a present, and I wanted to read it, and then I wanted to go see the collection, of course, and I did, and we did a video on it. And he has decided to put just 90 lots out of his 700 plus piece collection into Sotheby's to see how they do. All right, and here's the collection here. Here are the pieces. I had a chance to examine quite a few of these, and they are beautiful and of exceptional quality. The estimates seem, certainly within reason, and be fun to see how they do. And here's the catalog that is on the website right now. If you want to come over and browse it, here it is. That's the catalog. All right. And it's those of you who use the site know where it is. It's under auctioneers and dealers. All right, and this is one of the first pieces up that caught my eye that I think is quite a vase. This is an enormous Kangxi vase. It's 29 inches tall, really exceptional quality, and it depicts a really fascinating scene. It's basically the story of the restoration of the Han Dynasty in the fall of Wang Mang Xin around 23 BC. Okay. It's quite exceptional. It has lots of imagery, and there's a similar vase, by the way, in the Taft collection, but not as nice as this one. This is actually a much better looking vase because it's a yen. It's not. The other one is a little stiff. It's a rulu. It's a very nice vase. I'm not knocking the one in the Taft collection, but this I think is a better looking vase. All right, and the story is about how the leader enlisted the aid of local rebels to help them fight back and to keep the reign in order. Okay, and there's a whole very well detailed description in the catalog notes to this item, and it is estimated at 120 to 150,000, which doesn't seem at all crazy for that. And then there are also things in here for every price point. And this wonderful looking vase, Kangxi vase, in the gu form is estimated at around 6,000 to 8,000. And what I liked about this is it is painted very much sort of in the later transitional style. You see brush pots painted in the transitional period, brush pots very much painted like this, I think. And this is a really beautiful example, and it's in lovely condition, and has a fairly modest estimate, $6,000 to $8,000. All right. And then chugging along is this. This is one of the real gems of the sale. This is a fantastically rare Datsai enamel jardiniere that historians believe were produced in 1722 in honor of the Kangxi Emperor's 70th birthday. And they made a couple of sets of these. They made them with various sizes, and they're all based on Taoist immortal themes, which became very popular in the transitional period. And then they artistically they matured to incredible levels during the Kangxi period, especially toward the end. And if you blow this, come to their page or come and get the copy off the catalog on the site, and you blow it up. The detail work for the Kangxi period, it was extremely fine, and you can see how if somebody were to see this without knowing its history, knowing that it was a Kangxi imperial piece, you might even think it was Yongchen, but it's not. This is Kangxi. And the lovely soft yellow sort of shading here of the elephant against a slightly darker sort of imperial yellow here up above, and the very beautifully drawn faces. The faces on this thing are amazingly drawn, including the elephants and the fu lions. And wonderful wave structure down below here, all going back and forth in turmoil. Really terrific. All right, and this is a fairly big estimate, but I don't think it's certainly not undeserved. 350 to 500,000. These are extremely rare pieces. Okay, they do not turn up often. All right, and then on to this. This is a yellow. A lot of you know what this is. It's the yellow and blue dragon plates they're done in varieties of mixes of colors. This particular color combination denotes that they were intended for fourth-rank concubines in the palace. These are imperial pieces, and these were meant for the imperial palace. And this particular plate is because I've seen a lot of these plates over the years from Kangxi and other reigns, but the decoration of the face and the dragon itself on this is really exceptional. The quality is way above what you often see sometimes, even though it is imperial. The ferocious face up here and this very sort of muscular animation of the dragon. In the sinewy body, in the open, wide open claws, and there's the pearl. Just a great looking plate. And then of course there are two additional dragons on the cavetto and the rim. All right, and that plate is estimated at $100,000 to $150,000. Not outrageous. All right, and then on to this. This is one of the real tour de forces in the sale. This is a fabulous Kangxi vase. It is enormous. Okay, of course it's done in femi-vert enamels, and on it it tells a story. A lot of the stuff in this particular collection were collected because they had narratives involved with them. And this particular narrative was painted. It's a continuous scene based on a story that was in the book, The Fen Shen Bang. All right, and it's the investiture of the gods. And it's sort of the precursor to the notion of the mandate of heaven, when a bad ruler, in other words, when the Shang dynasty collapsed, it was taken over by it became the Zhao dynasty, and to ensure that it took over, the conquering Shao were supported by creatures and deities and demons fighting on behalf of good against the evil empire that was being forced out. And they called this the investiture. This goes to the story of the investiture of the gods. And it's a really interesting narrative, and it is a beautifully painted vase. There it is. And you can go and read the entire story on the Sotheby site. They have a very good set of notes on this down here, catalog notes. Here it is. Always read their catalog notes. If you're going to bother going to these websites and looking at their stuff, get the information out of it. They do a great job, and in particular on these pieces. Okay, and then over here to the Ming. Okay, this is the collection called Ming, Luminous Dawn of Empire, and there are 14 items. We're going to take a look at about half a dozen or 5 of them. Okay, and the first here's the catalog itself. You can see that there's some script and paintings. There's a Buddhist altar vase here, ritual. They call them lotus ritual bottles. There's a bronze, but we're going to pay mostly attention to the porcelain here. You can come and look at the bronzes and the other stuff, of course, but let's take a look at this. This caught my eye because I've never seen one of these before. I've seen the shape before, and I've seen the color before in Yongluo and all that, but I've never seen a Zhundi mark and period one of these. They're not known. It turns out the reason they're not known is that this is the only known one, and I was rather shocked. I saw the said Zhundi mark and period. I thought, well, that's interesting, and sure enough, there it is. Okay, these are obviously based on Middle Eastern metal forms. They were made in an earlier period, but none of them were marked. And I love notice the little sort of double gourd opening here on the tip of the spout. I thought that was just charming. And it's also a framed spout, which is really unusual. It must make the water or the wine pour out rather interestingly. At any rate, this is in the sale, and it's carrying a good estimate, but I don't know. This is the kind of thing that could blow that estimate to bits, $600,000 to $800,000. But I don't know of another, there's no other ewer like this in the world, so it may do a heck of a lot better. There are others that aren't marked, of course, in the Palace Museum and so forth, all right? And the next thing in the sale was one of my favorites also, was this really beautiful, it's an 18-inch Longquan celadon bar-brimmed lotus-formed bowl with pomegranates, and the pomegranates are in the center. And it's interesting because pomegranates are a symbol of fertility of not only in China, but also in the Middle East because of all the seeds and so forth within them. And these particular plates were manufactured in the imperial kiln, and they were used as trade barter goods and for tribute and to sending gifts abroad. And they also turned up, of course, domestically, but a lot of them were exported. And this is an extremely fine example. This is an extremely fine example. I urge you to come over and take a good look at it. The cavetto is deeply shaped. Often the shaping on the cavettos around the rim here are sort of weak, and you can tell how deeply these are shaped by the outlining and the way it's done at the top. And the symmetry of this piece is just fabulous all the way down. And if you flip it around here, and we'll get a better look here, we'll blow it up even more. There it is, and you can really see the work and the absolute incredible quality of the green glaze on this. The color is just exceptional all the way through, and you can also get the look of what the back of a real Ming plate looks like. Now it's curious on this plate because if you blow it up, you're going to see something here. This is kind of cool. Even though this plate has a big estimate and it's considered to be one of the great examples, it does have a firing line, probably from when it's stuck to something in the kiln when it was sitting on its ring here. They fired these on rings, as many of you know, so that when they're done, the glaze on the foot is fully intact, so they have fully glazed rims, so they don't scratch things. Very practical of them. All right, and the estimate on this is $350,000 to $550,000. So some of these estimates are going to test the market. And this is, in dollar values, this is the highest estimated lot. Is this unbelievable young low, they call them jadeite green or winter green glazed covered jar. Superbly potted, incredibly well glazed. And this may be the prettiest one in the world. There are others similar in the Palace Museum. There's a really great one at the MFA in Boston that has loop handles on it. But I think this is, maybe the best one. And notice the color, especially when you blow it up. You can really you can really see how the glaze thickened here along the base of the neck, and this beautiful deep green, almost looks like like a color you'd see in the Bahamas in the ocean. Just beautiful, beautiful thing. And here's a picture of the bottom. All right, always look at the bottoms and notice how perfectly the foot has been shaped. The superb workmanship of the foot, and then this very fine, very interesting glaze pattern that developed, and not much in the way of firing flaws underneath. Sometimes these pieces have firing flaws underneath, and this came out just about perfectly in a slight iron oxide line, that reddish line along the edge where the air hit it during the firing. Okay. And this is estimated at $1.5 to $2 million. And these are small. This is 4 inches in diameter. But it has its lid. Very, very few of these have their original lids. It's extremely unusual. All right. And then last is this. This is a great thing, a Yongle period, Chunbai, or they call these sweet white. You may have heard of them as sweet white pieces. It's a type of glaze. They're usually anwa decorated. This one is. If you blow it up, get a nice blow up of it, you'll see the anwa decoration. There it is. You see these incised lines. These plates are incised, and when they're glazed, of course, the glaze fills into the incising, which creates a design under the glaze for you to look at. All right, and this one, you can see it has these leaves and looks like grapes and so forth. Just beautifully done. And the shape, of course, is very much like the Long Quan celadon plate we just looked at. Okay, very, very similar. And here it is. And the foot on the base of this is unglazed. There it is. And this particular plate is actually part of a pair that was in the Kangxi collection. And the pair was split up and sold, and they went in 2 different directions. But this is one of them, and it still has the Kangxi sticker still on the foot rim. There was the Mei Ping done like this that sold for millions a few years ago in sweet white. Sweet white is not like Blanc de Chine. I should point that out. It's actually made from stone glaze. Instead of having a lot of ash in the glaze, it's mostly crushed stone glazed. So it gives a different texture, a different hardness in the glaze itself. There's very little ash used in the glazes for these, and that's why they call them sweet white. And they didn't make them for a very long period of time. All right, and that's it, okay? And next week we'll take a look at some of the others. And give us, if you enjoy these videos, please do give us a thumbs up. It helps our ratings here. And sign up and subscribe to us here if you haven't already. And maybe sign up over here and join us on the forum, on the Bidamount.com forum. We've only had this up a couple of weeks, and we've got like 258 people have already signed up. So that's pretty gratifying. I think that's nice. All right, and come by and make a comment, leave a note, ask a question. All right, and thanks so much, and we'll see you all next week for the videos on these. Okay, thank you very, very much, and have a great week. All right, bye-bye.